Hi, I'm Zirak.
I'm Ilman.
I'm Les.
I'm Oleg.
For our case study project, we met with Chris Barden, Director of Infrastructure at Grant Mutual Insurance Company, and Chris gave us a rundown for his company, and here's how it goes. Clients spread over 3 physical sites, the primary HQ, the branch office, and the secondary branch office. They make use of single mode and multi-mode fiber and Cat5 cables, which are a bit outdated, and we recommend they use Cat5e. They make use of Layer 2 switch stacks, Brocade FC switches, and classic Cisco routers. These Layer 2 switches are in hub rooms on each floor. They also use a collapsed bone in hopes of reducing costs. However, it defeats the purpose since distributing them over a span of 3 sites can increase costs and increase the changes of a single point of failure.
The company uses a FC SAN, which enables high performance data transmission thanks to the use of fiber optics to connect to the primary storage device and the backup. The Clarion array would be considered a legacy storage array by today's standards since a new EMC was introduced to replace Clarion and have since been discontinued since 2011. The company has not yet upgraded this technology since the array works fine and provides the necessary speed required. Moreover, an upgrade to the newer equipment would place financial burden on the company. The linear tape open libraries, LTO, developed by IBM are expandable libraries that consist of 2 to 18 LTO drives and are used to make regular encrypted backups using software or inline devices for the company and can support up to 35.5 petabytes. Not all the companies supported hosts connect to the SAN. Some only use direct storage, local disk with hardware, or software RAID. They are more inclined to use software RAID since they have lower costs associated with them. The company also leases a transparent LAN service. This service is from a carrier. It links together the remote Ethernet networks. It is known as transparent because the networks are viewed as just one big network with no consideration of the technology being implemented by the carrier. Issues arose and were solved by manual routing changes. These were required due to the configuration of routing protocols used. Network segmentation is done on a floor-by-floor basis. Further segmentation is done based on the environment and applications running on the server. The reason for segmenting user traffic aids in the performance on floor-by-floor network traffic and provides a smooth network experience. With the use of a DMZ, demilitarized zone, they create another network that separates the LAN and gives an additional layer of security, typically referred to as a perimeter network. The company requires an annual employee sign-off for IT security policies. This is common for companies using computers in their business. Such policies include computer and email acceptable use policy, internet acceptable use, password protection, and social media, just to name a few. To provide secure remote access for users, the company uses Citrix, which is just a remote access program, as well as an endpoint VPN, which is approved on some corporate devices. The endpoint VPN is an approach to protect computer networks remotely bridged to client devices, since so many devices are connected to the network, and this creates a lot of attack paths and security threats. The company's best defense against attacks is their VPN and their NSP agreement, the network security policy. This is a document that is used to outline the rules for the computer's network access. This determines how policies are enforced and lays out some of the basic architecture of the company's security network. All users are required to adhere to these rules.
First, with the large amounts of confidential information, there should be some data leakage prevention in place. Second, as opposed to a best efforts approach for monitoring and troubleshooting, there should be a network monitoring procedure which is formally documented and approved by management. The network contains basic quality of service policies by vendor default. We suggest that they review these settings for better traffic control, such as a backbone and uplinks to core systems. Fourth, their disaster recovery is in the same location as their primary site. A large-scale event or outage could impact the organization's ability to recover quickly and effectively, so we believe the DR should be located in a different location. Fifth, server, application, and infrastructure logs are stored locally per device. A centralized logging solution, along with a documented logging and retention policy, is recommended. So the network is designed to scale or adapt for future growth in such a way that, first, logically, network subnets like production and development were typically sized to accommodate growth, and additional subnets using private IP space would be added as required. Secondly, Physically increasing in port density would typically be accomplished by adding additional switches or additional blades to core switches within the data center. Lastly, with the WAN links were typically provisioned by carriers on equipment that could be scaled up as required.
The company divided by VLAN concept. VLAN concept including division by roles, such as development, testing, and production environment. As well, the company has a redundancy issued by switching and has a big backbone, which include the firewall, VPN concentrator, and DMZ zone.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Enough for really good grades.
Thank you very much.